Y'all didn't think I was gonna do it, but you should know your boy by now. I'm definitely gonna do it. I am going to attend. So, yes, I did do San Diego Comic-Con at home, and I have to tell you, I was really pleased with everything. I was really impressed. Considering the circumstances in the world, they did a wonderful job, and I'm going to go over a few things. I'm even going to show you guys a few things, because for the first time ever, you can still catch everything about the con. Okay? So if you're ready, I'm ready. Brain, mouth, heart, official badge with the lanyard is ready for you boys. So let's go on this journey together. So get ready. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month, year, millennium. I know 2020 has been the ultimate villain, that end boss in the game that just seems to keep getting back up, but that's perfectly fine. However, I hope that you're doing okay and you're doing the best you can despite the circumstances. And I'm continually praying for every single one of y'all to make sure you're good. We make it to 2021. So we can go attending cons if everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. So please, if you aren't, please stay safe. Follow the precautions and directives in place for your safety. Masks, social distancing, hand washing, and just being overall considerate and take care of each other, okay? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for checking me out. Thank you to my new subscribers to my channel. Once again, you guys are the reason why I do what I do. And I haven't been in the mix as much lately is because I've been working on some new things and been really focusing on getting my podcast up with and just trying to build momentum with that. If you aren't familiar with already, I have a podcast called Blerdicorn Speaks, and I have it with my partner in Blerdom, Angie. Miss Angie, and we are just enjoying ourselves. We're having a good time with the discussions we're talking about. In fact, today's topic we talked about on the podcast. So if you want to get her take on her very first experience in the particular topic we're talking about, please hit me up on Blerdicorn Speaks. We're on Anchor. We're also on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, and a few other platforms that are providing podcasts. So if you get the chance, please check it out and just rate us. Tell people that you like us. If you're on iTunes, please rate us and tell us what you think. One of my friends actually done it already, and it's wonderful to see that people actually like this without being prompted. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell, so when you guys want to know when I've created something that will spark your interest, it'll tell you. Okay, please share the videos. I really appreciate that. A lot of my videos are a little older, but they have a message that resonates, or even certain topics that people may be interested in. And of course, like my videos. Please, 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 please. I really appreciate you guys, okay? Don't forget to hit me up on social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram under Navy Montel, and also under Blerdicorn Speaks. So either way, you can reach out to me. Just trying to put it out there. So today I am going to talk to you about my experience from Comic-Con at home for 2020. Now, of course, the corona has caused a lot of things to be shut down or to be canceled or to be postponed, whatever the case may be. So what they have done is there are certain conventions that are doing their thing. Comic-Con International. I definitely give you guys mad props because Comic-Con International created Comic-Con for everyone. Now everyone knows that normally this is one of the hottest tickets in town to get, and if you happen to get a badge to go to the con, man, you are in there like swimwear, you know what I mean? And I normally go every year, but it's always something I look forward to because the atmosphere and the energy and the enthusiasm and fellow geeks and nerds and blurs like myself who come together to celebrate and to be able to say thank you and enjoy stuff like that. Well, we couldn't do that this year because the San Diego Convention Center is being used for homeless relief, and I got to give props to the folks out there, the directors and the board of directors for Comic-Con, the San Diego Convention Center. Y'all done a wonderful job, and I appreciate y'all, and I really, really respect what they've done. They are really trying hard to present themselves for the solutions for the community, and that's always a good thing, and I really applaud that. But because we could not do Comic-Con this year, they decided, well, we're gonna go a step further. They started out doing it with WonderCon, but then they got better. They saw what they were doing, they saw what they could add, and let me tell you, they put Comic-Con online, and it's better than I expected. They really put energy and work and planning and effort and everything, and everybody who was a part of this really deserves props for this. From Comic-Con International themselves, to all the companies that are normally a part of it in some way, shape, or form, to everybody who just turned their own homes into their own convention centers. And it was really cool what they did this year. But I'm going to take you up to the convention site. We're going to talk over a couple of things, the things that I saw that I thoroughly enjoyed. And of course, there's always a downside, but I look at it from being positive. The positive thing is we all got to enjoy it, okay? So let's check out a couple of things here, shall we? Okay, here we are at the Comic-Con website. For those of you who are not familiar with it, is comic-con.org, okay? And just for future reference, if you want to be a part of next year's Comic-Con, go to the top here where it says Member ID, click in there and create a member ID. And when you do that, that will allow them to send you emails for when they're doing open registration and when they're looking for volunteers, and also any other information that might be relevant to you as a potential con goer or volunteer. So I've been doing this and I've had my member ID for a long time. I know I'm not going to go in there and do it with you, okay? You have to figure that out on your own. Sometimes the best things in life are what we discover, and I'm not going to show you that, okay? Because I had to discover that. So here we are at the Comic-Con website, and as you can tell, they did a really good job with this. I mean, they took every element that's normally a part of Comic-Con and presented it online. Programming, the exhibit hall, yes, the exhibit hall. So yes, you can buy stuff still. There are still some vendors who have their stuff online at their virtual stores, and I highly recommend doing that. There are artists. They had the art show. There are artists in Artist Alley who were able to still get some of their stuff sold and still able to spotlight and showcase their talent, and I firmly enjoyed this. They really made this so user-friendly, in fact, that normally there are certain events in Comic-Con that are so hard to get a ticket for. Case in point, Hall H. Everyone knows this for sure, that Hall H is notorious for making sure that if you really want to do this, you're going to camp out. And I've seen people the line is always long and it's always packed, and people camp out there for days, not for hours, not for minutes, days, just so they can get into this particular hall, because TV companies and movie companies and even other properties like Marvel and DC and Sony, they spotlight a lot of their future projects and movies and shows like that in there, and they also do previews. Now, we did mark a massive absence from Marvel and DC, though they did have a presence. It's not as overwhelming as it normally would be, which is fine, because we understand that online they've got to do what they got to do for their bottom line, and it's just a convention and everything, and Comic-Con took the resources that they had and they made it work. They really made it work. Okay, so we'll go down here a little bit. They had different activities. You had your challenges. You could do different challenges for cosplay, and they even had trivia contests. You could create your own activities. They actually allowed you, or actually created signs. Now, if you ever go to Comic-Con, you'll see different signs around, like this is the beginning of the line, this is the line ends, Hall H, things like that. You could print your own signs and turn your house into a convention center, which was simply genius. Absolutely genius. They had the masquerade. The masquerade was on Tumblr. So if you have never been able to see the costumes that are presented in the pageantry, they had a version for it online, and Tumblr was the platform for that. And I thank people at Tumblr for doing that. If you want the souvenir book, you can download a PDF. Some people print it out. I probably would if I had the ink and the paper, but I'm glad I got a chance to download it. You could do watch parties. Now, there are always certain rooms where you can preview movies, TV shows, anime. And for me, these rooms were great because it gave you a chance to take a break, still get a chance to watch something. I always went to the anime rooms. You know your boy's an anime fan, so I'm perfectly fine with that. And you can set up watch parties through a service called Screener, if I'm not mistaken. And a movie be up and you could invite people into it. And it was, it just turned into, Scener, and it turned into a watch party. So you felt like you had people around, and you can even have your portfolios reviewed. This is always something that a lot of up and coming artists in comics and anime and even just overall, they come to get their portfolios reviewed by different comic companies: Marvel, DC, Image, IDW, Boom Studios, Archaea, the list goes on. And you can still do that. They made it sure that there were certain things that were available to you. Now, if you scroll down on this, you'll see, of course, they're doing advertisements for different companies. IGN did a fantastic job on YouTube. All of their live streams are on YouTube. Every panel that was presented and that was highlighted for Comic-Con that wasn't canceled is on YouTube. Their Comic-Con International page, a channel on YouTube, highlights everything, and we'll take a glance at that in a second. You have Masquerade there. You have certain games. You can even play games. They went through Discord and Twitch to do certain things. Again, this was a concerted effort, and this was a community effort in the way of geek and nerd stuff, where different companies came together and they put their ideas on the table, and it was wonderful. Wearing this badge this year was an honor because this is the first of its kind, and we all have the opportunity to be a part of it. You can also look at exclusive clips from the program schedule. They have an online exhibit hall. The exhibit hall, like I said, where you can go and check out what's being sold, what vendors are out there, and check everything out. From artist alley, small press tables, even fan tables were highlighted here. You could get merch. I don't know if merch is still available, but you can go in here and click on here and see what you can buy. I picked up a few things myself. I'm a big enamel pen fan. Different companies, FX was doing their thing. The watch party, like I said before, Tech Live was doing their thing. Tumblr was doing the Masquerade, and they were doing an art show. And the list goes on. You could download your own badge, put your name on it, boom. Just like I did. They give you a choice of 5 badges. So whichever one you fit in. Normally I'm a retailer, but because they don't have retailer's badge, I grabbed the professional because I am professional. So without saying, let's go into a couple of things here. First, I want to go into the programming. Alright, so we go into the programming here. Now, they used an app here called MySched. MySched is really easy. Just log in and just highlight what you wanted. And every panel from Wednesday to Sunday was highlighted. If you leave your mouse over it, it will give you an overview of the panel itself, who the attendees are on the panel, and what particular programming group is a part of, and even the tag. So if you're only looking for certain things, you also have the YouTube link, so you don't have to figure out, oh, okay, I don't know where to go. You can go to the YouTube link or go to the Comic-Con website. The link is always the fastest way to go, especially if you're only looking for a specific panel. They highlighted everything. As you can tell from the checks here, these are the particular ones I was interested in. Crunchyroll panel, and scroll down, we had the Montel Elite Squad, and then Amazon Prime was doing theirs. And there were a lot of really fascinating panels out here. I mean, it covered an array of topics, from education to getting into the industry, to the status of things going now, shows that are about to be released, movies that have had to be delayed but are still going to be coming out, comics that are coming, so many different things, even discussions about how much of an impact today's life and comics have on each other. There is such a solid LGBTQ programming schedule on here as well. So everything is covered. Everything is covered on here. So if you're not familiar with this, I definitely say recommend going and checking it out. Now, let's say you're not sure exactly where you want to go, and you want to see what the YouTube channel looks like. So we will go to the YouTube channel, and here we are at the Comic-Con International YouTube channel. And trust me when I say, they are now officially timeless with their programming. There isn't a panel up here that was not highlighted from the 22nd to the 26th of July. Everything. I mean, it was brilliant. They covered shows for HBO Max. They had the panel for the 100. If you're a brony, they actually had panels for that. Yeah, I noticed seeing G4. Yes, G4 is coming back. Still waiting on details from that, but once I find out, I will definitely do that. They even highlighted Jack Kirby and his contributions to comics. They even have the Kevin Smith panel. Kevin Smith is always a Friday or Saturday night event in Hall H, and that is one of the biggest tickets. You don't have to worry about standing in line. You can go right there and spend it with him. And it was so brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I love the fact that there is a choice and an array and just a large selection of topics and subjects and discussions. And a lot of these were discussions amongst people who are passionate and know what's going on. And they even have, and this can spark conversation. This is why I tell people why I like going to the panels, because you learn things, and then when the panel is done, you can still see that they are still topics of discussion and interest, and they bring people in. And if we were there talking about this, I'm sure I would have met somebody new from around the world or maybe across the country, and we're all talking about this. And all of these panels are online. They're all online. They're going to be there. They even have the Eisner Awards. Again, another exclusive ticket, and you have to be invited, I believe, or know someone in the industry that's in there, and they invite you. It's oh my goodness, words cannot describe the experience that was San Diego Comic-Con. All right, so let's say you want to see what the costumes were from the masquerade. There are people here who went to Tumblr and they highlighted what they had, and this is where you can truly see people being creative with their cosplays. And I'm a cosplayer, so I really got to admire a lot of the things that people did, and I really enjoyed seeing creativity and stuff. So we go into the specific spot for the masquerade, and these are the winners, and I can see why this was best in show. This is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. And the list goes on. Had the judge's choice, the best recreation, we had the best original design right here, of course, best workmanship, the best workmanship, it was a tie between two, best presentation, and it was really a wonderful experience. It really was. Like I said, you have different companies like Amazon. They had their Amazon Virtual Con, and they had events going on, and it was wonderful. They even had certain interactive events going on where you could go in and be a part of that. I was actually part of the one for the boys, and I was able to create a t-shirt, and I got the shirt coming, and it was free. It was free. That's the main thing. It was free. Unless you're buying something from the exhibit hall or from Artist Alley, everything else was free. All you had to do was take the time and watch and interact and click and see what's going on where and what was going on, who was doing what. And it was so awesome. It was so awesome. So we go into also the exhibit hall. This is the actual Whoa, there we go. This is the actual floor plan for the exhibit hall. This is actually typical of how the map looks. The halls are separated by their letters. So you see them displayed down here all the way up to G. H is right here. You'll never see H on there, but there was so much. Now let's say you want to pick up something from Lego. You can click on there. It will say, okay, check out the Comic-Con museum. But okay, well, I don't know why that's there. So you click that. Maybe that was a bad example. All right, let's say you go to Hasbro. Hasbro will highlight over here. They'll give you a quick synopsis of what the company does and what it provides, and it will show you if there's anything there. Now, normally Hasbro has an exclusive list, so they really don't show a lot. So let's go to something I'm more familiar with. Let's go with Viz. All right, so we go to the products that Viz has. They didn't do a whole lot. They had the Inuyasha Blu-ray set, and they had the Venus and Blind Spot by Junji Ito, which I'm really hyped because I'm a Junji Ito fan. And most of these companies, if you just go to their website, even if you've missed the con, and you can still buy a lot of this. This type of flexibility is what makes conventions like this timeless, because they're willing to take all their resources and all their time and energy and creativity to do this. This is wonderful. This is absolutely wonderful. I can honestly tell you, I enjoyed this. My podcast partner, Angie, checked out a few of the panels, and I think the word she used was intense. It could be intense if you're not used to it, but this beats, for a lot of people, this beats having to deal with 135,000 other people trying to get to panels and get to the exhibit hall, where it can be a sea of humanity. It's always crowded, but this was such an amazing thing. And if you miss panels, you don't have to worry about it. You go right back to their YouTube channel, and you still can catch everything. Just take your time. This was another thing about the convention that I really enjoyed, because when you're normally there's this frantic pace that you have to somehow take in, because you're trying to get from one end of the convention center to the other. Maybe you're going to panel room 31 and you got to get to panel room 6 because that panel's going on. You only got like 15 minutes. So now you got to go through all this humanity to get to there. This time you didn't have to. Whatever panel that you wanted to watch, you just go to the Comic-Con International YouTube page. And there it goes. It's right there. And I wanted to highlight this before I go. This particular site, SDCC blog. These guys have been my go-to for information for Comic-Con for years. They are fantastic people. They're geeks and nerds just like us, and they enjoy everything that goes on here. And what they do is they always highlight anything that's about to go on for the convention. They even have their own YouTube channel. SDCC blog, they do a SD Concast, and they talk about everything that's highlighted and what's going to be happening and what's going to be sold and what the rumors are. They even address rumors and they verify things that they know for sure. They have their countdown over here, which is always awesome. We have another 351 days to San Diego Comic-Con 2021. Different events. They even highlight different swag that's being sold and things like that. So I definitely say bookmark this particular site, sdccblog.com. Go to them for all your information about Comic-Con, period. You can't go wrong with them. But overall, if I had to give this a rating, I would say this is definitely a 9.5 out of 10. And someone would say, well, why are you rating it so high? Because I love the convention experience. I love wearing my badge and going through registration and picking up my registration stuff, which is my programming, my souvenir book, the quick guide, also their exclusive pins, and they're random. And you get your lanyard and your pin. You also get your badge and you get your bag. Now, as you guys can tell in the back there, I have 2 of my bags displayed. And those are always great, because you would always get to a certain spot. If you knew there was a certain bag that was being highlighted that year, you try to find somebody, and even have it on Twitter that you can go and say, hey, I have this bag. I'm looking for this bag, willing to trade. Or you just see someone there and just trade bags. It's just like being on a playground, man. Just trading. Here, oh, you got the Black Lightning, I got the Flash. You want it? Switch. Done. You got what you wanted, they got what they wanted. But the convention experience is so unique, and it's so special when you get a chance to interact with new people, reunite with old friends or old acquaintances. Opportunities can be seen there at the conventions as well. And though a lot of this isn't evident or possible because of the pandemic and what's going on this year, they still did the best they could with what they had. And I applaud them. I thoroughly applaud them for this. They did a really good job. I really appreciate Comic-Con International for this. If they ever see this, please understand that as a guy who's been going since 2006, only missing 3 years out of the whole amount of time, this was one of your best ventures. And I am so honored to have been a part of this and be a part of something for the first time. Comic-Con was accessible to everyone. There was no stress or anxiety of standing in line trying to get a badge, or being upset because you didn't make it into the waiting room in order to be moved on to pick up a badge. I really appreciated what they did, and they made this enjoyable and made it wonderful, and I firmly respect that. So if you don't agree with me, you know what? Do me a favor. What did you like about the con? What were your ups and what were your downs? What did you feel was missing from this that could have added to the online experience? Or just give me an idea of how you felt about the whole thing as a whole. Comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Please tell me what you think of the video too. I only do this because I enjoy doing this, and this particular one meant a lot to me. My pins and my t-shirts are coming in the mail. I got my swag, so I'm good. And I got to see the panels I wanted to see. I got to introduce it to people who never had a chance to go, and this was a wonderful experience overall. Okay? Thank you so much for checking me out, guys. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you for the support. Please don't forget to check out my podcast, Blerdicorn Speaks. Please don't forget to check out the rest of my videos in my channel. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and just be awesome. Okay? And as always, as I always tell you, wonderful, 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 beautiful people, do me a favor, okay? Stay nerdy, stay geeky, please stay sexy, and most importantly, please be safe. I want you guys back with me, okay? Take care. Bye.
Yeah!